Hey guys, back again. Today we are going to be watching a video from this website. It's called Storybooth. Storybooth is like somewhere where people can go to make videos of stuff that happened in their life. Today we're going to be watching a video that's called, what is it called? I didn't feel safe at home or at school. So, get ready. Hold on 1 second. Okay, let's watch.
I had an older sister and a younger brother. Every time my sister or my brother did activities and I wanted to join in, I was always either too old or too young, because being a middle child can sometimes be like that. Although I love my mom very much and I knew she cared about me, just at times I felt like she loved me a lot less than the other two. My parents divorced. My mother ended up meeting a new person who didn't like me, my brother, very much. If we didn't do what he wanted, he would hit us very hard.
Oh no.
He hit me so hard that I got knocked out. He was like this for...
We're making a YouTube video.
So I can't take my phone, I'm going to the gym.
I'm kind of using it. The next one we're gonna watch is I Was Homeless. Oof.
Me and my sisters didn't get along, and I could never understand why. They bullied me, tormented me for a long time as a kid. They would dress me up like a girl, telling me that I should have been a female so that I could fit in, because nobody wants a brother. They would tell me hateful things because I love to eat. They hurt, they teased, they ridiculed. It was terrifying. Despite my mother doing her best, she was never home long enough to enforce the rules, because she had to take care of us. She had to keep us alive and food in the house and a roof over our heads. As the teenage years came to roll around, the once verbal teasing and emotional trauma ended up turning into violence. Eventually, the violence got so bad that I felt I couldn't be safe in the house anymore. My mom felt the same way, and she sent me to live with my uncle because there was nowhere else I could go. For a little while, things were okay, and then out of the blue, my uncle got evicted, which took me out of a place to live. I found myself at Central Park, and ironically enough, this is when Pokemon Go was a big thing, so it was really easy to blend in the crowds.
Pokemon Go.
Was running around Central Park looking for Pokemon, and it didn't look weird for this chubby kid to be sitting down, on a cracked phone, just sitting to himself. I was hungry. I didn't have any money for food. And I found myself in McDonald's, and this group of teenage kids was asking if anyone wanted the food that they weren't going to eat because they didn't want to throw it away, and they ended up leaving it by the door. I waited a couple of minutes before I took it. And on the fourth night, I was assaulted by a group of people. They proceeded to beat on me until they figured it just wasn't fun anymore. But after it was over, I took my broken phone out of my pocket and I called my mom. We go about searching for places, and that place led me to an adolescent shelter called Covenant House. I find myself with friends, not camouflaging myself in my pain, but embracing it and finding connections. They're giving
That's
me
nice.
this sense of hope, this faith that things can be better. I find myself connecting to my mother and knowing that she knows that I'm okay. I found my redemption in Covenant House, and I'm hoping that while I was here, that people have found redemption in me too.
Well, okay, guys. I think we're gonna watch maybe like 2 more, and then that's gonna be it. Okay, guys. This next one is very bad. Don't ever do it. It's smoking. I started smoking cigarettes. Don't ever do this, okay?
Where's mommy?
When my 18th birthday finally came, I was so excited that I was finally now considered a legal adult. I could now vote and serve my country if I wanted to. I could also buy certain things that were looked down upon. That wasn't until 4 months later in May, just a week before my high school graduation, I wanted to buy myself a late birthday present and also a gift to myself for the fact that I was moving on to the next chapter of my life as an adult. What was that, you may ask? A pack of cigarettes. Now, I, along with the entire world, knew the consequences of taking up smoking. I've had anti-tobacco education all throughout elementary and middle school that explained the horrors of what might happen if we ever decided to smoke. And it was very frightening to me at the time. But me being a curious and rebellious teenager, I decided that I would try it at least once for the experience, and I had promised myself I would not make it a habit. I had decided that I would wait until my mom went to sleep. I carefully and quietly snuck out the front door. Once I got to the gas station, I got extremely nervous, afraid that I'd sound and look foolish. I kindly asked for the pack I wanted, had my ID checked, and I gave the young clerk the cash. Finally, this was it, my first pack of cigarettes. I decided that I'd try one now, as I just couldn't wait. I took out a cigarette, and I lit it. The taste was very, very, very harsh and bitter and nasty. After taking a few puffs, I had finally decided to inhale. My lungs felt like they were collapsing, desperately trying to breathe as I coughed like no tomorrow. In the back of my head, I thought I was going to pass out and die as I literally could not breathe. I threw the cigarette on the ground and put it out immediately. Yet I still kept the pack with me. Weeks later, I tried again, and this time I succeeded at inhaling. I thought it was just going to be a casual habit of mine, but I was dead wrong. I kept on buying packs non-stop for the next year. I have made numerous attempts to try and quit, but I simply couldn't, and I was starting to run low on money, all on some rolled paper. If you are curious about smoking or being peer pressured into it, simply don't do it. Nicotine is one of the hardest addictions to break, and the best way to break that addiction is to never start in the first place.
Yeah. Okay. One more video, guys, okay? Okay, guys, last one's gonna be I got fired and found my passion. That's one's gonna be happy.
You know, I've always noticed throughout my whole life that there are so many people doing things that they don't want to do. Working a job that they hate when their true passion lies somewhere else. When I was in high school, I had zero idea what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. One day, my accounting teacher told me that I could make a lot of money as an accountant, and being young, I was like, yes, money, so let's do it. So I proceeded to spend the next year getting the credits that I needed to get into the university that I wanted to go to, and ultimately, I did get into that school. I spent the next 5.5 years getting a Master of Accountancy degree, and I got a job working in public accounting, making a cool $30,000 a year, except that
Wow.
I was miserable. I didn't want to admit that to myself because I had invested so much time and money into getting that degree. So I convinced myself, hey, this is just what people do. You get a job and you sit in a cubicle and you put your head down and you just work. One day the firm administrator called me into their office and had an envelope in front of them. Thank you for everything you've done here, but business has slowed down and you got to go now. Bye-bye. And within minutes, that safe job I had worked all of those years suddenly wasn't so safe anymore. We're taught to take the safe route, but the truth is, the safe route isn't safe at all. So why am I not taking the same risk by working for myself? I had discovered YouTube a year prior and fell in love with it. I'd been making videos on the side occasionally for fun, but now I decided it was time to go all in. But I won't lie, my time off was tough. I had no guarantee that taking this risk would actually ever pay off. There were many nights that I laid in bed wide awake, wondering if I'd made the right decision at all. I spent the next year of my life broke and feeling lost with no sense of direction. I felt like I was just floating in an endless sea of doubt. All that I had was faith and a little determination. But at the end of that year, something happened. My videos started getting views. My videos went from getting a few hundred views to a few thousand to tens of thousands and eventually hundreds of thousands. After a few months, I started making the same as my accounting job, and then more. It took something bad to happen to me to force me to try something new. Something that might make me happy. And I think that's where most people in this world fall flat. Most people are not willing to take a risk on a better life that makes them happier because they've gotten comfortable in a job or a life that just doesn't fulfill them. The reason I'm telling you this story is in case you are one of those people who has that nagging voice in their minds telling you that this isn't what you were meant to do. I'm here to tell you that that is your heart talking, and it knows what's best for you. Listen to it. Pursue your passion. I promise, if you stick with it long enough, you will be successful, whatever that thing is.
Okay, guys. Just like he said, if you're doing something and you don't like it, do something different. So remember, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Bye.